Hey everyone, it's George from Booming Business here, and I'm joined today with Lee Davidson, the Principal Solicitor of Advantage Legal. How are you, Lee?
Very good, George. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Now, Lee, we've been working together for about 2 years or so. What are some of the results that you've seen so far?
Look, I mean, from a firm perspective, we've doubled in size year on year. We've hired some really tremendous team members in that time. Uh, I'd say that we've won a stack of awards, which is sort of reflective of, how our goals have been achieved and how our team has really got on board with that. Some of them include, us getting nominated in the Doyle's Guide, um, winning most influential lawyer 3 years in a row, and winning boutique law firm 2 years in a row. So, being able to achieve those things is entirely reflective on the things that we've done as a firm. Um, you know, in that time though, we've been working exceptionally hard, um, very dedicated to our clients, but we've put better systems in place that we as a firm operate under. So it allows us to get better client outcomes. It includes also focusing on rehabilitation. So personal injury law firms obviously focus very much on a compensation outcome, but we believe that there's more to it than just compensation. And so being able to help people achieve ideal rehabilitation results by working with them and to understand what their needs are and making sure that they've got the right treatment providers in their corner, and making sure that we're working with the insurance companies to make sure that they're approving the appropriate treatment, and that the insurers actually understand what's going on. So there's some really big goals that I would say that we've achieved, and continue to evolve as time goes on.
Look, absolutely. And that focus on your clients and putting them front and center was one of the reasons I wanted to work with you. And when we started, it wasn't disaster by any stretch. It was a well run firm. You were doing really well. You're on a great trajectory. Do you want to talk a little bit about what life was like before we started working together?
Yeah, look, we had some very clear objectives on what we were trying to achieve. We only started the firm in 2018, and we'd come from inside insurance companies. So my business partner and I had sort of had years and years working in and around personal injury compensation schemes in New South Wales. We just decided that we wanted to do things different to the way that things were currently going. Now, the challenge that we encountered was obviously COVID. Like a lot of small businesses, it threw a spanner in the works. So being able to adapt to that and then really ramp things up once we sort of niched down into what we wanted to do. We focused more on the outcomes we were trying to get, and the objectives that the firm wanted to stand for. Working with you on that has really been, an eye-opening experience for us. So the client for us has always been the center of everything that we've tried to do. Right? It's outcome based, but it's also, at the end of the day, we want people to want to work with us. We want people to know that we stand for something different to a regular personal injury law firm in New South Wales. We want people to know that they will get a better outcome by coming to us, by us spending more time with them, understanding what is going on in their life, understanding their rehabilitation and treatment needs, understanding how the accident not only impacts them but also impacts their families and the people around them. Right? These are very important things that quite often just get glazed over. So it's critical that the client is the front and center of everything that we do.
Yes, amazing. And coming into coaching, what would you say to someone who's considering it, or maybe it hasn't really broached their horizon just yet, but maybe they should be considering it more seriously?
Hmm.
What would you say to someone like that, especially your lawyer colleagues?
Look, we don't know everything. At the end of the day, you know things based on your life experience, you know things based on your training and your education, right? There are other people in this world that will be able to give you a completely different perspective. So, a business coach or coaching in general um, is there to really challenge the way that you think. It's to challenge some of your preconceived notions. It's to challenge the fact that you're making rush decisions. I know there's times where I am so busy, and then I'm just like, oh, I need this particular resource, or I need to know this. And you as a coach have pulled me up, just going, hold on, before you go and make that costly error, um, what are you actually trying to achieve by making that decision? There's that accountability element that actually that coaching gives you, is that
And does it fit our plan, right?
yeah,
Is
that's
it
right.
the right
It's
thing for
like,
right now?
what are we trying to achieve with this? All right, the direction of your business is going down a particular path. So why are you going over onto this tangent? Have things changed, or are you seeing things in a different light that this is going to incorporate into your business plan and it hasn't been communicated effectively? So then that opens a different question. Is this a communication thing that we're keeping within the staff at the staff level? Is it a client level thing, or is it a more a broader thing that needs to be done through marketing? So there's a whole different way of looking at things, and coaching really challenges the way that you approach a situation.
Fantastic. And your biggest lesson so far?
Look, there's been quite a lot, to be honest. I really, one of the major things to me has been recruitment and building a team. As a boutique firm, and effectively, having only started in 2018, we wanted to make sure that we were bringing on the right people, with the right ethos, that were really going to get on board and understand that we were trying to do something different, and not for the sake of disruption's sake, purely for the sake of servicing the client better. Right? So there are plenty of law firms around that will just do things based on the system. We're not a system-based law firm. We give people individual attention. We understand that an accident impacts people. Every person will be impacted in a different way, right? And you can't service a client properly unless you understand what they are going through. So really getting involved in their life, and that really includes getting involved in rehabilitation, which is one of the things that we do really well. We work with rehabilitation providers, we work with doctors, we work with physiotherapists to make sure that the insurance company are getting what they need to make the right decisions. Right. Likewise, we'll work with the insurance companies to make sure that if they are denying things, that our client is understanding why this is going on, and that the miscommunications are corrected quickly. All right, it happens. All right, it's a big system. C2P, workers' compensation, they're very big systems. They're dealing with thousands and thousands and thousands of claims a year. So insurers are busy. You have to be able to assist your client, and so making sure in terms of lessons, making sure that we're bringing the right people on board that get on with our ethos, is really important. But that starts with you've got a situation where you've got to actually you will understand the role. All right, so we're looking at recruitment to start with. What is the role? Right? What's the personality that you're trying to fit? What's the culture you're trying to fit in with? What is the nature of the activity that this person is trying to actually do within the firm, right? All of those questions have to be answered. Who are they working for? Is it a split role? Is it a hybrid role? What are all the conditions under which this person is going to be employed, right? Once you've answered all of that, then you start looking at the job ad, right? We understand the nature of the person that we want. What's the role that they're trying to fill? Now that we understand that, and the job ad's got to be a reflection of you as a firm. It's not just a job ad. It's not just like, I'd like somebody to come in and do this for me, please. It's really trying to showcase to the world, these are the type of people that we want working for us, and this is what we're trying to achieve. Then it goes into the interview process. All right, understanding that it's not just a straight job interview. There might be different ways of cracking that nut. You need to tailor it to the particular job that you're recruiting for. Once you've actually got the person in the door, all right, resourcing, upskilling, onboarding. These are all critical things that don't just happen overnight. They take time and they take resources. And the more you invest into a person, the more you're going to get out of them. So instead of just sitting them down in front of a computer, making sure they're getting the training, they're getting an opportunity to give feedback. All of those are critical things. And then the actual onboarding process, it doesn't take a day, it doesn't take a week. It's not just sit down and go and do the job and learn on it, right? This could be a 3 or 6 month process. And actually making sure that they're coming on and that they're getting the opportunities to ask the questions and do everything that they've been hired to do, and making sure you're giving them job satisfaction as well. So, it's as much of a lesson for me as I'm going through the process with a new person, learning about them, what motivates them, as what it is for them coming in and trying to learn about the firm and about the personalities that are already here. So that's been a really big lesson. I mean, there's a number of other ones, as well. The way we approach marketing, the way we make strategic decisions, understanding the value of time other than from a pure billable hour perspective, understanding that your non-billable time is just as important, and that those you don't need to do everything yourself, and that those non-billable hours are just as valuable to you as what your billable hours are. And how do you fulfill get more things out of the day by getting the right people to actually do some of those things for you. So really learning how to assess and look at time from a monetary value perspective has definitely been a really eye-opening thing as well. So look, I mean, there's tons, George. There's a lot of lessons that we've learned from you and from coaching, with being coached by you. So it's been certainly a great thing that's put us on a very strong path.
Well, thank you so much, Lee. You've achieved a lot, and that's massive accolades for you and for Anna. And I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Thanks and all the best.
Thank you so much, George. And likewise, really looking forward to continuing working with you in the future. And thank you for everything today.